Hey, hey. Welcome to my little corner, Derek's camera corner, you might call it. I don't think this has a name. I'm gonna look at a camera today. Let's take a look at a camera. What camera are we gonna be looking at today? It's this camera. It's the Yashica Rapide, made by Yashica, as the name would imply. It came out in 1961, and it is a half-frame camera, which if you don't know what a half-frame camera is, it's the same as a normal camera, only as the name would imply, it only exposes an image half the size as a regular 35mm camera. So normally a 35mm image is like, I don't actually know the numbers off the top of my head. I should, like 35mm by like 28mm or something. This is half that, so it's like 16mm by like something. I don't know. But as a result, you get twice as many photos. The idea behind the half-frame cameras when they were kind of first introduced was for a consumer market. More photos for each roll, more bang for your buck. There, I took the little lens cap off so I can actually see the thing. So introduced in 1961, it's got a 28mm f2.8 lens on it, which as far as I can tell is the equivalent of about a 40mm lens. One of the interesting features about the Yashica Rapide is its vertical orientation rather than traditional horizontal orientation. The reason for this is when you have a half frame, it exposes the image like as a portrait composition, because it's like two portraits next to each other rather than like the landscape layout of a full 35mm image. Does that make sense? So they flipped the camera 90 degrees so that when you shot it, you get a horizontal image like most traditional cameras do. All that being said, probably the coolest feature of this camera, which I did not know about until I received the camera and was trying to figure out how the heck do you advance the film, cause there's no film advance lever on it, is this little wrist strap looking guy. It's not a wrist strap, it's the film advance lever. So let's get to actually shooting on the camera. So a few weekends ago, myself and some of my buddies, these good looking lads right here, decided to make a day trip down to the Jersey Shore, and I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to test out this camera. So I loaded it up with some, I think it was Portra 400. After packing up all of our stuff and getting ready to be blistered by the New Jersey sun, we hit the road, which, as you can see, was just a truly thrilling experience. After not having a haircut for a year, I discovered the joys of being in a Jeep without a roof on it on a highway. But I quickly got that problem solved, and we were on our way. We all live in New York City, so the trip itself didn't take terribly long, but we certainly stopped at some fine establishments on the way. After backseat driving and helping my buddy T park his Jeep, we finally reached the beach. Reached the beach itself. Reached the beach. That's a fun one. We got to the beach, which was just a joy. No, but really, it was a great day, and after I got some food in my stomach, it was a great time. And this photo in particular right here exemplifies one of the interesting things about this camera that I'm not sure is a feature, or just because the camera's old, maybe the lens is dirty. I didn't really get the chance to clean the lens before I shot on it, but the shine coming off of this plastic fork in this photo is just absurd, which you can also see kind of the haziness of the lens with highlights really exemplified in this photo, which was one of the first photos I shot on it, just like in the office in my apartment. I really kind of dig the look though, so I'm debating whether or not I'm actually going to attempt to like do anything to the lens if I can get my hands on some rubbing alcohol, because the entire world has been shut down and terrified about diseases, so all the rubbing alcohol in every CVS in a 10-mile radius has been consumed, I'm assuming. So the real reason we went to the beach was as a little bit of a birthday party for my buddy Scott right here, which depending on when these videos come out, you may recognize from our Red Hook video. So I am far from the only person in my friend group who enjoys shooting film, as I think there were a total of no fewer than 6 film cameras with us on the beach, including more than one, like a R6, I think, Hasselblad or two, probably like an Olympus XA, my camera, Marco, my buddy, was even shooting on Super 8. It was really a beautiful day out on the beach. Got in the water, played some frisbee, filmed instead of participating in frisbee. One of the things I always love about the Jersey Shore are the beachcombers, little prop planes with the flags behind them. So, you know, I had to snap a shot or two of those guys. That just immediately makes me think of the summer. As this is a rangefinder camera, I did struggle a little bit with framing a few times. As you can see, the framing in this photo is just superb. Really wanted to cut the people off just in the middle of their backs and the bottom of the frame. Really solid. And let's not give anyone any headroom either. Yeah, no, that's not necessary at all. So I did find framing to be a little bit of a challenge sometimes, just cause it's with any rangefinder. I don't have a ton of experience shooting rangefinders, so I struggled a little bit with that. But when I did get the framing right, I quite enjoyed it. After watching far too many negative feedback videos, I was going a little bit for kind of the European portrait look. Hands by your side, absolutely no expression. Why do Europeans take portraits like this? I don't understand it. Normally, I don't try to get too artsy with my photos. There were a couple photos I took that I would consider, you know, more just a little artsy, a little fun. I was pretty happy with how they turned out. Again, on these ones, I was just happy with mostly how the framing turned out, because it's just kind of a crapshoot every single time you pull the shutter. We finished our day at the beach and headed back to some real quaint, bougie little town in New Jersey. Got some frozen margs, got some handmade ice cream. It was great, and I did attempt to take a solitary photo of our buddy Scott, our aforementioned buddy Scott, and his new darling wife, April. Not super happy with how it turned out. It's not great, not a good photo. Just gonna put it out there. Some proper stinkers on this roll, as you can take over 60 shots. I was just kind of firing away willy-nilly, not paying too much attention to it, which I enjoyed. I really did enjoy that. So my final thoughts on the Yashica Rapide are that it's a really nifty little camera. I really enjoyed shooting with it. The film advancing mechanism alone is enough to like keep me interested in it. But I love the form factor, love the way it looks. It feels super solid. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Love the little camera. It's super great. You should get one for yourself if you find one for less than $350 on eBay. So yeah, that's the Yashica Rapide. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time on Derek's Camera Corner. I'm not going to call the show that. I can't call the show that. Oh man. All right, guys. See you around.